Here's one that I've been excited to do, folks, and this is Dark Lotus. So this is comprised of ICP, Blaze Ya Dead, and Twisted. Now the reason why this album is so slick is just because it's skin crawling. It's just all over the place. It's one of the slicker things, and for 2014 this is good. I just feel like out of all the attention that we are giving people these days, this is one of the overlooked ones, and you will go up, 3 steps in your factor for how people see how significant you are just by listening to a release like this, just because it makes you think, wow, people are not talking about that. And so once you're there, you have to start talking about the content. So mainly what this review is going to be about is just letting you know that you need to look at this and discussing the songs that are actually going to be worth your time. Now really, this album is not a waste of time. It actually has quite a few songs that will stick around. I mean, you should be playing this into 2015, into 2016. And really, ICP dropped 2 albums this year, so on top of that, they just got a lot of stuff going. Really, the horrorcore type vibe for this speaks for itself, and it may feel as if, people are trying to teach you illegitimate things, but that's not the case. So I know that's really confusing, but what I'm just trying to say is, just because it doesn't have a positive message does not mean it's not worth your time. Critics have panned a lot of ICP's efforts, but I feel like they don't really understand, the messages that they're trying to get across to you. Because all you have to do is just look at their lyrics, and it actually unveils to you that these guys are not just, people with personality problems. So, and even if they are, they want you to think that, but, there's layers to these onions. So, the songs you can smoke to, Garden of Evil is one you should definitely go for. Morbid's another one. Price of Life, Villainous, Death in a Jar. All of these are real good ones. I don't remember the entire release. Trying to remember 12 different songs is a little difficult, but those are some good ones. So I liked 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I liked 8 songs, and we'll get to that. The production, this is another thing that's really good. All of these 8 songs that I chose, I feel like you're probably going to like. They don't keep the beat the entire time, but it's okay, just because they do it in a way that the follow-up, the stuff that you hear secondly, is not bad. So it's acceptable, just because it does, it's still a horrific atmosphere. Horrific, huh? The unheard songs. So these are the 8 songs that you should check out, take a look at. Garden of Evil, Death in a Jar, Morbid, Price of Life, Villainous, 45 Minutes, Coagulate, and The Drought. Lots of goodness here. Some of these, like, I really like the Garden of Evil. That one's one of my favorite. They say Morbid a lot in the song Morbid, but you just can't escape that production. It sounds so shrill. Villainous was another one I liked. Coagulate's pretty good. I can't remember the beat on that one, but you're gonna like it. There are 4 skits on here, so that brings it down to 12 songs. I had one almost song, which is My Head is Haunted. This one would have taken a little bit longer to assess if I would have liked it, so I'm just going to say it's an almost song. Pretty much brings us up to 9 out of 12. So the ones I didn't like were Debbie in the Dark, Let It Rain, and there's one other one, My Kind of Party. But, just take these songs, listen to the entire thing, because I feel like a lot of you got to remember that some of these songs, some of what it has to do with is taste. So you guys may, if you take the score that I give it and then you try the songs that I didn't like, you could have a 10 out of 10. So just remember that is what I'm trying to show you, is that it's worth taking a look at. So I recommend this release, of course, and since I liked 8 or 9 out of 12, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. So I guess I could give it a 10, but it's just that almost song is pretty much the only thing. So I'll give it a 9.5 just because I'm not sure if I'm going to like My Head is Haunted, but if I do, consider it just a 10 out of 10. So that's pretty much it. And the future, I mean, Dark Lotus is kind of strange, but just all you have to do is realize that ICP dropped 2 albums this year. Twisted dropped an album this year. I'm unsure what Blaze Ya Dead did. So, but then Blaze Ya Dead has albums. He's got plenty of music too. So that's some good stuff. And the social score, I will give it an 8, just because really I don't want to have people thinking that you have to be a juggalo or you have to be a fan of ICP just to like this. It's pretty strong, but I'm not sure of the songs that are gonna draw people in. Like you think of certain songs by ICP, like The Ned Game, and some songs from Jekyll Brothers, but it kind of needs those songs that have crossover appeal but are not commercial. But regardless, this is a slick as hell release. I just don't know how well it's gonna draw in new fans. It might just be for basically only their crowd. So that's pretty much it. Can it be taught? Not likely. But I am going to look into some more Dark Lotus because I was excited about this release and it lived up to my expectations. So just don't go in thinking this has to be like way up here, best I've ever seen. Just come right about here and it'll probably exceed your expectations. So I give this album a 9.5 and an 8 social. Subscribe for more fun.